It is real, 2017. The Alien Autopsy. The Haunted Car of Bellevue. The Beast of Okanagan. The Gargoyle of Robbinswood Park. UFOs over Monroe. The Shroud of Burien. The Spam Cult of Maltby. The Haunting of Montlake. The Ghost of Colonel Isaac Eby. Spontaneous Human Combustion. The Serpent of Phantom Lake. The Seance of Lake Forest Park. 20 years ago, these Northwest mysteries were investigated and proven to be real. It is Real 2017 has returned. Join the It is Real 2017 investigative team as they swing back into action armed with the latest in cutting-edge technology, ready to reveal shocking secrets and uncover even more unbelievable mysteries. Hold on for an unbelievably wild ride.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new It Is Real 2017.
Welcome, everybody.
20 years ago, the It Is Real team rocked the paranormal investigative community with our cutting-edge research and investigative skills. We are here now to tell you that we are back, better than ever, to resume where we left off. The subject of tonight's show is Black-Eyed Kids of the Pacific Northwest. Now, this is an actual event that happened in eastern Washington in a small community. We can't give you the name of the community, but it happened to a couple that live in a small town, and we have an actual eyewitness account that we're going to let you hear in a few minutes here. So,
if we told you the name of the community, it would just create a whole mess for that community, having all those people pour in at once.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, we do have a phone number to give you.
Yes, as a lot of you know, this is a live call-in show based on our previous It Is Real show from 20 years ago. So I'm going to give out the number right now. It's 605-475-6967. And we'll periodically put that up on the screen. So keep those calls coming. We always enjoy the phone calls we get.
You'll be seeing that number. It'll flash up on the screen. In addition to what you'll see on the screen, you'll also see where you can subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
So you'll be able to see not only this show, but our upcoming shows, which at the end of this one, we'll go ahead and tell you what our next show is going to be all about.
Be sure to subscribe and then make sure that your alerts are turned on, because we put up bonus material from time to time on that YouTube channel too, Ron.
Absolutely. Now tonight, we also want to welcome our new director. His name is Leif Nema.
Hey, Leif.
He's joining us for our new series, It Is Real 2017. And so without any further ado, we'd like to show you our eyewitness account. We'd like to let you listen to our eyewitness account of the Black-Eyed Kids. It's titled, I Let the Black-Eyed Children Inside My House.
Sit back and enjoy.
So go ahead, Leif, let it roll.
Let me start by saying that I know how hard this will be to believe, but now that things have taken a turn for the worse, I made the mistake of letting the Black-Eyed Kids inside my house, and now I'm worried that I might die because of it. I hope this will be a warning to everyone who is ever in the position to make the same mistake that I did. A little over a year ago, I woke up because I heard a loud banging on the front door. It was the middle of a snowstorm and the nearby hills get real slippery in the snow, and I thought maybe someone might have been in an accident and broken down. It's happened before. When I looked out the window, I could see that our motion spotlight was on. I could see that there were footprints in the snow that had come from our road and into our driveway, but there was no car anywhere. Well, our front door was obscured from the window, but I could see that someone was standing there. I wasn't sure what to think, so I woke my husband up just to feel safer. While I was telling him that was going on, the banging on the door started again. My husband went to answer it while I stood in the hallway. When he opened the door, there were two children standing in the snow, looking toward the ground. There was a boy and a girl, and they could not have been more than 8 years old. They were dressed strangely and had odd haircuts. The girl's hair was long, very long, and straight, and the boy had a dated haircut that looked almost like a bowl cut. They weren't dressed for winter, and my first thought was they must have been Mennonite children, But as far as I know, there were never not much of a large community of Mennonites near us. Thinking back on it, I know that my normal reaction to seeing children in a snowstorm would have been to rush them inside and bundle them up and get some blankets, hot cocoa going. But that's not how this felt. The children were very unnerving. They would not make eye contact, and when my husband asked them if everything was okay, they asked if they could come in.
Can
My
we come
husband
in?
looked over at me like, what do I do? And I asked the kids where their parents were. The kid said, they'll be here soon, is all
Our
they said.
parents will be here
It was
soon.
around 2 o'clock in the morning at this point, so the only reasonable thought in my head was that there must have been an accident or these kids got lost. As much as my instincts told me not to bring them in, I did it anyway. So, I went into the kitchen to make them some hot cocoa while my husband took them into the living room. While I was fixing the kettle, I could hear my husband talking to the kids.
Are you okay?
He was asking them if they were okay.
How far did you walk?
Where they came from. How far they
Where
walked.
did you come
if
from?
their parents' car was broken down. Things like that. But they always answered, our
Our
parents,
parents
will
will
be
be
here
here soon.
They spoke in a sing-song voice. They weren't afraid to be in a stranger's home at all. I started to notice that our cats, we had 4, were all hiding. So, normally our cats are very curious and friendly, and we have to be very careful that they don't run out the door when we leave. This time, none of them even tried to see who was here, which I thought was very strange. When I walked back into the living room, the kids were sitting on the couch, as still as can be, but my husband was holding his head in his hands. I asked him what was wrong, and he just said
I
that
am
he felt
really
very dizzy all of a
dizzy.
sudden, but that he was fine. Well, I turned back to the children to give them their cocoa, but when they looked at me, I gasped. Took everything inside of me not to drop the mugs and run away. When they looked at me, their eyes were completely black. They had no whites, just giant black pupils. When they saw that I was scared, they stood up and asked if they could use the bathroom. I tried to be very composed, as I could be, and showed them the door down the hall. Well, they went into the bathroom together, and I hurried back to my husband to ask him if he had seen their eyes. He had seen them too, and said that it looked like his brother's badly bruised eyes after a car accident. We were in the middle of talking about whose children they could be when my husband's nose started to bleed. He'd never had nosebleeds as long as I'd known him. I just knew inside myself that this had something to do with the kids in the bathroom, and I started crying while I ran to get my husband some tissues. That's when the power went out. I heard my husband yell my name from the living room, and as I started to walk back through the hallway, I stopped dead in my tracks. The 2 children were standing in the end of the hallway. They weren't moving, and I had never been so scared in my whole life. They just stood there in the dark. After what felt like forever, the boy said, Our
Our
parents are
parents are here.
And they walked to the door, opened it, and walked out, leaving it wide open. My husband jumped up to go close it and almost fell over. We looked out the window and saw 2 men standing by a black car idling at the end of our driveway. The men looked like they were wearing black-colored suits and were very tall, at least 6 feet. When my husband waved at them, they just stared at us and got into the car and drove off. Our power came on about a half hour later, but nothing was the same after that. Over the next few months, 3 of our cats went missing. We can only assume that they ran away somewhere and never came back, but the worst thing was coming home to find the 4th one in a puddle of blood on the living room floor. He looked like he had been vomiting blood. The vet told us that he had some kind of a hemorrhage. After my husband's nosebleeds became a regular occurrence, we went in to see the doctor. He didn't know what to make of it, but my husband was diagnosed with an aggressive skin cancer. When the doctor asked us if we used a tanning bed, we both thought he was joking, but apparently this kind of melanoma is linked to the overuse of indoor tanning beds. The doctors think he will recover, but don't understand how it got so bad so quickly. My husband has never worked an outdoor job and spends relatively little time in the sun. Since we let the black-eyed kids inside our house, I've also suffered from regular dizzy spells and nosebleeds on a regular basis. I've had other issues, which I won't mention here, but trust me when I say that I am suddenly in the worst condition of my life and no one can do anything about it. I know that all of this is because I let the black-eyed children into my home. We've told everyone we could about the strange kids that showed up that night, but no one else saw them, and some laugh at how scared we were of the black-eyed kids. But we know what we saw. I wish my husband had never opened the door.
Boy, what an account was that?
That was scary, man.
I don't think I would have let those kids into my
No.
house.
No, I wouldn't have either.
So we do have the phone number, once again, is 605-475-6967.
We're going to start taking calls.
And I do think that we have we
we
have some
do?
calls coming
Already?
in. I do
Oh,
think
my
we have
God.
some calls coming in.
Okay.
Let's see if we can
Yeah,
actually
cool.
listen to some of these calls coming in.
Okay, first call. Go ahead, caller. Hello.
Go ahead.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Glad to see you come back on the air. Used to be a big fan of yours back
Thank
in
you.
the day, and I enjoy your show a lot. I had a question about these black-eyed kids.
Sure.
Okay.
And I seem to see a lot of them riding around town on these BMX bikes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I'm wondering if you think that maybe that ties into these black-eyed children. They're black-eyed BMX riders.
I think you're
Well,
onto something.
it's a possibility that
Yeah,
they
caller.
could be on BMX bikes because
Yeah.
we see a lot of the BMX bikes
They're everywhere.
around Everett, but a lot of
Yeah.
those riding the BMX bikes seem to be a lot older.
Yeah, and they seem to be selling stuff too.
They seem to be selling like
Yeah.
crack cocaine and heroin and things like that.
Yeah. Thanks for the information there. I really
you're
enjoy the
welcome.
show.
Well, thanks for calling.
Guys, keep up the good
Okay.
work.
Okay, thanks for calling. Oh, boy, he hung up awful abruptly.
It's
Wow,
always good to have a good call right off the bat. That's our first call.
absolutely. Well, I think we have another
Another
call
one,
coming in
another
too.
one.
Let's see. Here it comes. There's another call coming in.
Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead,
Hey, I
caller.
call bullshit on you guys. You
What?
guys are just making this stuff up,
No,
man.
we're not.
How do you dare get on TV and do stuff like this?
Well, we're just reporting it how it is, sir, and you don't
Yeah.
you don't have to use language like that either. I mean, if you don't like what you're hearing,
Yeah, turn the channel.
you can always turn the channel. We
Yeah.
give people options like that, you know.
Yeah, it's a free country.
Yeah, your mama does.
No,
You don't
your
have
mama what?
why bring our mama into it? You don't have to be so personal like that. We're just doing a show here. We're trying to give you the facts of what's going on.
Yeah, you guys, you make fun of this stuff. This is not
No.
not good because you're giving those black-eyed kids a bad name.
Well, they're not doing. He hung up on us.
I assure you, we're very serious about
This guy,
what we do.
they
here.
call it. If you're going to call us, let's engage in an intelligent dialogue.
Yeah.
Let's not hang up on us.
And don't talk about our mamas.
And don't talk about our mamas either. We don't
No,
like that. So
not at
I think
all.
we might have another call coming in. Let's see.
Another one. Boy, they're coming in.
Well, where's it? What kind of ring is that?
That's weird.
What the heck? What the heck kind of call is this?
Wow.
Where did that call come from?
Wow.
I don't know
That's
where
that's from the dark world.
I don't know where that call came from, but
That was odd.
now I think it's time that we actually. Actually, we have a
We
sponsor.
have a sponsor this year.
Yeah, go ahead.
First
Tell us.
time. Well, we want everybody to know that me and Ron try out the product. Anything that's advertised has been tried by both of us. And I've always wanted to say, now here's a word from our sponsor.
Now, who is our sponsor?
I can't tell you.
What's the name of it?
Grow Alice.
Okay, Grow Alice, but you're going to let it be a surprise
Yeah.
for the.
Let it roll.
Okay, here's
Yeah.
here's a word from our sponsor, and our
Yeah.
sponsor is Grow Alice.
Research has provided evidence of the existence of a subconscious and physical level of interaction between the male and female members of the plant kingdom. In reviewing recent advances in the understanding of plant reproductive roles, including the different organs and subcellular locations, Grow Alice has been created to enhance the sexual bonds that exist and to boost the levels of a vibrant and healthy connection between your plants and their mates. Warning: if your plants remain active longer than 4 days, call your local botanist immediately. Available by prescription only at your local pharmacy.
Whoa, what a commercial was that? Man, I tell you, both me and Ron have tried it. I'll tell you right now, my plants were droopy. Not anymore.
Yeah, it works.
It works really good. And we encourage you to go and get some at your local plant store as
But-
soon as you can.
But do be careful because
Yes.
the 4-day rule does apply.
Yes,
If your plants are active longer than 4 days,
there's trouble.
go see a botanist because it could be the end. It could
be
spell the
dangerous.
end. It could cause permanent damage to their
stalks.
stem cellular integrity.
Yes.
Okay.
So, well, I guess it's time to take some more calls. But before we do, let's tell everybody about our YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to put some directions up on the screen, and you can just Google to find your way to our YouTube channel. Now, once you get there, you're going to want to subscribe to it, and then you're going to want to set up some alerts, because occasionally we will put up bonus material, so you want to be in the loop for that, and plus we'll announce when the next show is coming out, so you can stay tuned.
Absolutely. You'll see how to subscribe to it, and not only will you see it in our next show, but we might put up some little shorts too, some little little small bits of material that are quite entertaining and quite informative. So
Yes.
I think we have some more calls coming in.
I do too. Hey, let's take some calls. I'm going to flash the number up on the screen for you again.
Okay,
So go ahead and call.
Here we go. Let's see what we got here.
Calls are coming in pretty hot and heavy now.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the line.
I remember seeing you guys on TV back in 1997.
Oh, that was a
down
long-
in
wow.
Long time ago.
Seattle.
Thank you. That was Seattle Public Access.
You guys had a pretty good show back then. I'm really glad to see you back on TV
Well, thanks.
again.
We're
But
glad to be back too. Bigger and better.
I saw these dark-eyed kids. They came to my door
Wow.
Really?
just the other day.
That was recent.
Last weekend, matter of fact.
That's recent.
I opened the door
Oh, you don't want to do that.
and I said, "You're not coming in my house."
Good idea.
No.
But then, next thing I knew, they were standing in my house. I didn't
Really?
let them in, but they just ended up in my house.
Oh my God.
So you told them they couldn't come in, but somehow
They got in.
they next thing you knew they were just standing in your house. I don't see how that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up in my house, and I didn't let them in, but they were there.
Wow.
The next thing you knew, they were in there, and I said, "You gotta leave them. I don't want you in here."
Well,
You got to get them out. Yeah.
But
They're
they
dangerous.
stayed. They wouldn't leave, and so I opened my door and I said, "Get out, or
get
I'm
out.
calling the police."
Good for
Well, that's
you.
a good idea. I would have
Yeah.
also probably taken out a baseball bat and tried to get him out that way. Not don't hit him, but actually tell him you're going to hit him unless
Yeah.
unless
a
they
lot
get
of
out.
times too. A lot of times they'll come in, they'll try to sell you stuff. They'll be selling magazine subscriptions, and
Well-
they want to know what your cable's like.
Well, I hope they didn't hurt you though.
Yeah.
Yep, they finally left, and then they walked down. They went down to the curb, out to the street, and they got into a car.
There's always
just
a car.
Like in the film you showed.
Uh-huh.
They got into a car and
Yeah.
they drove off,
Yep.
and that's the last thing we saw
They'll
of them.
just peel that
So
out. Yeah.
they're real. The black-eyed kids are real, and they wander around the neighborhoods, mostly late at night.
Always
so
late at night,
they're real.
usually.
I want to thank you guys for
Well, you're welcome.
bringing it to attention,
welcome,
because
sir.
you're doing us a great service,
public
and keep
service.
up the
Oh,
good work.
thanks for calling.
guys.
Thanks for calling. Oh, wow, what happened to that call?
What a great call, Ron.
Oh man, that guy,
Man.
that was an actual eyewitness
Yeah,
account.
that's good. We always appreciate the calls we get here. at
He
It
sounded
Is
like
Well.
he might have been older gentleman.
Yeah.
But he
A little
sure.
older. Might be a little drunk.
No, I don't think he was drunk. I think he was just older. I think he was
Yeah.
kind of still in shock from
Oh, yeah,
from whatever
that
happened to him. I don't know how long they were in his house.
I don't either.
They could have been in there for quite a while.
He didn't say.
No, he might have even known how long
Yeah,
they were in
He
there.
might have lost some time on that.
He might have lost some time. I think we might actually have another call coming
Another
in.
one? Okay.
Hey, caller, you're on the line.
Hi there.
Oh,
Hi.
Oh, you guys are really handsome.
Oh, thank you.
Are you single?
Well,
I'm spoken for. Sorry.
I'm single, but you know, I don't know what that has to do with our show.
Yeah. But
Well, I'd
thank
sure
you.
like to meet the single one after the show's over.
Well-
Where do you guys meet after the show?
We can't give that information out
Unfortunately, no.
because we'd be mobbed.
No, the restaurant couldn't handle the crowd.
We did that back in the 90s when we had our original It Is Real show, and we were followed around by so many people
Oh,
that
it got out of hand.
it actually caused traffic
Yeah, the
jams.
restaurants told us not to do it anymore, but thanks for offering.
Well, I'm
I'm single myself, so, and I'm very lonely. And you guys, well, you seem like interesting people.
Oh, we are.
Well, we are interesting people, or we wouldn't
Yeah.
have a show like this.
No, we wouldn't be doing this.
But we can't give that information out, so sorry about that.
Sorry.
Well, I'm going to give you my number.
No, we
so you
really
can
don't
call
want
me
you to give you.
after the
You
show.
can't.
My
We don't
number's
want you to.
555.
Oh, don't do
888.
that.
No,
Call
'cause-
me.
Oh, no. Oh, what kind of dial tone is that?
Wow. I hope she wasn't pranking us.
I don't know. I don't know what that was. I think
Yeah.
I don't know who that was, but
I think someone's pulling our leg.
that is the
Yeah.
risk we take of being on
Yeah.
on TV, though.
We don't screen our calls. So
We don't. We never will screen our calls.
No, never.
It's no way to do it.
Never.
This is as you see it.
Yep.
This is reality.
It is real. It's happening.
It is real. That's the name of the show.
That's right.
2017.
Yeah.
You know, I think we might have another call coming in.
Another one?
Yeah.
Lines are still open here.
Oh, go. What the heck?
Ooh.
Oh, don't play. Somebody's playing around with us.
I think someone got a sound effect.
Either.
machine
Well,
or
I think.
something.
I don't think that. Well, I don't know where that call came from,
Yeah,
Bill.
that's bad.
Anyway, I don't think we have any more calls. Anyway, our director Leaf is informing us that we are running out of time
Running out of time.
on tonight's show.
Yep.
But we do hope that you enjoyed what you've seen. And if you have any ideas or phenomena that you'd like to report,
Yes.
please leave your comments on our YouTube channel, which you've seen flashed on the screen several times tonight. Also,
Place to leave remarks.
I'll tell you what it is. It's Hole in the Wall TV Everett.
That's it?
That's our YouTube channel. Hole in the Wall TV Everett.
And you Google it.
And you Google it, and
Google
it'll
that.
take you right to our YouTube channel. But you've also seen it on the screen tonight.
Yeah, and then be sure to subscribe, of course.
Our next show will be about a very bizarre subject matter
Very serious to us.
that is currently sweeping a small Washington town of Prosser.
Prosser, Washington.
The show is called The Pug Dog Man of Prosser.
He's been spotted.
He's been spotted,
Yep.
and it's called The Pug Dog Man of Prosser. So stay tuned for further details of this upcoming show.
We'll have exclusive footage.
And you will see details of it, little teasers showing on our YouTube channel. So I'd like to say good night to all.
Good night, everybody.
I'd like to thank you for tuning in.
Yep.
And look at our YouTube channel, and you'll see details of our upcoming show. Good night.
Very good.
Thank you for tuning in.
Good night now.